For privacy reasons, names and places have been changed. This story is inspired by true events.
On the morning of July 18, 2012, 31-year-old Adam Preston left his family's home in Denver, Colorado, for a solo backpacking trip in the Rocky Mountains. He never arrived at his intended destination. Despite an extensive search hampered by treacherous terrain and unpredictable weather, Adam vanished without a trace. For 11 years, his family lived with agonizing uncertainty, clinging to hope while fearing the worst. Then, in the summer of 2023, a group of climbers made a chilling discovery high on a remote mountain pass. This is the complete investigation into what happened to Adam Preston. Before we continue, let us know where you're watching from, and if you enjoy this content, consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Now let's continue. Adam Preston, a quiet and unassuming software engineer from Denver, found solace in the solitude of the Rocky Mountains. At 31, he had already conquered numerous trails, his meticulous planning and calm demeanor making him a seasoned backpacker. In the summer of 2012, Adam meticulously charted a challenging route through some of Colorado's highest passes. He packed his well-worn backpack with provisions, his trusty hiking staff, and a small audio recorder he often used to document his journeys. He shared his detailed itinerary with his sister, Jessica Sandoval, and set off on what was to be a 2-week trek into the wilderness. His initial days were documented through brief satellite phone calls to Jessica, filled with descriptions of breathtaking vistas and the quiet satisfaction of conquering challenging terrain. His last contact came on the 4th day, a short call from a high-altitude campsite where he reported clear skies and good spirits, anticipating reaching a particularly scenic peak the following day. Then, silence. When Adam failed to check in as scheduled, Jessica alerted the authorities. A search and rescue operation was launched, helicopters scouring the vast expanse of the Rockies, search teams on foot navigating the treacherous terrain. The early days of the search were hampered by unpredictable weather. Snow fell intermittently, obscuring potential clues and making the already challenging terrain even more perilous. Rockfall, a common occurrence in the high mountains, further complicated the search efforts, posing a danger to the rescue teams and potentially burying any trace of Adam. Friends and family gathered at the search base camp, their initial hopes slowly giving way to agonizing uncertainty. Jessica, clutching Adam's favorite hiking hat, spoke of his meticulous nature and unwavering preparedness, expressing disbelief that he could simply vanish. Search dogs were deployed, their handlers navigating the steep slopes and dense pine forests, but they found no trace of Adam or his belongings. As days turned into weeks, the relentless weather took its toll. Heavy snow and increased rockfall activity forced the search and rescue teams to scale back their efforts. The official search was eventually called off, leaving Adam's fate a mystery, swallowed by the vast and unforgiving wilderness of the Rocky Mountains. The initial police investigation into Adam Preston's disappearance was hampered by the vastness of the search area and the limited evidence available. The rugged terrain, coupled with the intervening snowfall and rockfall, made a thorough ground search virtually impossible. Investigators focused on Adam's last known location, painstakingly combing the area for any sign of him or his belongings. They interviewed park rangers, other hikers who had been in the area around the time of Adam's disappearance, and analyzed satellite imagery, hoping to pinpoint a more specific search zone. Several theories emerged. The most prevalent was that Adam had become lost or disoriented in the challenging conditions and succumbed to the elements. Another possibility was that he had suffered an injury, perhaps a fall, rendering him unable to seek help. The remote location and lack of cell service in many areas of the Rockies meant that even a minor injury could quickly become life-threatening. Investigators explored the possibility of wildlife encounters, though there was no evidence to suggest this was a factor. Sheriff's Deputy Mark Olson, one of the lead investigators at the time, explained the difficulties they faced. "We were dealing with a vast wilderness area, unpredictable weather, and very little to go on. Mr. Preston was an experienced hiker, well-equipped, but the mountains can be unforgiving. We had to consider all possibilities." The initial investigation found no signs of foul play. Adam's meticulously planned itinerary and the lack of any reported suspicious activity in the area led investigators to believe that his disappearance was likely accidental. However, the absence of any concrete evidence, such as discarded gear or signs of a struggle, left a lingering sense of unease. The case, while still open, gradually transitioned to inactive status. Without any new leads or discoveries, the investigation stalled, leaving Adam's family in a painful limbo of uncertainty. The initial hope for a swift resolution faded, replaced by the gnawing fear that the truth about Adam's fate might never be known. The years that followed Adam Preston's disappearance were a slow descent into a quiet despair for his family. Birthdays passed unmarked, holidays tinged with a profound sense of absence. Jessica Sandoval, Adam's sister, became the reluctant keeper of his memory, clinging to the hope that someday, somehow, she would learn what happened to her brother. She kept his room untouched, a silent testament to the life interrupted, the future stolen. The case remained open but dormant, filed away among the unsolved mysteries that haunt law enforcement agencies across the country. Periodic reviews yielded nothing new. The initial theories remained: lost, injured, a victim of the unforgiving mountain wilderness. But without a body, without any physical evidence, these remained just theories, offering no solace, no closure. Jessica, fueled by a sister's unwavering love and a deep-seated need for answers, refused to let her brother's memory fade. She became an advocate for missing persons, working with local search and rescue organizations and pushing for continued reviews of Adam's case. She organized annual hikes near Adam's last known location, a poignant ritual of remembrance and a silent plea for answers from the towering peaks that had claimed him. "It's the not knowing that's the hardest," Jessica confided in a local news interview 5 years after Adam's disappearance. Her voice, though tinged with weariness, held a steely resolve. "We need to know what happened. We deserve to bring him home." The small mountain community, initially gripped by the mystery of Adam's vanishing, slowly adjusted to the unresolved absence. His story became a cautionary tale whispered around campfires, a reminder of the unpredictable power of the wilderness. Some speculated, offering their own theories, but the truth remained elusive, shrouded in the mists and shadows of the high mountains. Years passed, each one etching deeper the lines of grief and uncertainty on Jessica's face. She continued to hold on to hope, however faint, that someday the mountains would relinquish their secret, that someday she would finally know what happened to her brother, that someday she could finally bring him home. The silence, however, remained unbroken, the mountains offering no answers, only the endless whisper of the wind. Through the pines, a constant, haunting reminder of the life lost and the mystery that remained. 11 years after Adam Preston vanished into the Rocky Mountains, a chance discovery rekindled the dormant investigation and shattered the prevailing theory of an accidental disappearance. A group of experienced climbers, tackling a challenging route on a remote peak, stumbled upon a scattering of weathered and broken gear partially buried beneath a recent rockslide. Among the debris, they recognized the tattered remnants of a backpack, its once vibrant colors faded and torn, and a hiking staff, its metal shaft deeply gouged and bent. The climbers, seasoned mountaineers familiar with the harsh realities of the high-altitude environment, initially assumed the gear belonged to a previous unfortunate climber, a victim of the unpredictable mountain weather. However, a closer inspection revealed something more disturbing. Partially protected within a crevice beneath a large rock, they found a small, battered audio recorder, remarkably intact. Recognizing the potential significance of their discovery, the climbers carefully documented the location, taking photographs and GPS coordinates, before cautiously retrieving the recorder and descending to alert the authorities. The initial playback of the audio recording, conducted at the local sheriff's office, sent a chill through the room. The recording, though distorted in places, captured the distinct sounds of a heated argument, a man's voice rising in distress, followed by a scuffle and a chilling scream cut short. The realization that the recording likely captured Adam Preston's final moments sent shockwaves through the small mountain community and breathed new life into the long-cold case. The discovery of the shattered gear and the chilling audio recording transformed what had been a tragic missing person case into a potential homicide investigation, thrusting Adam Preston's story back into the spotlight and reawakening the painful memories for his family and friends. The mountains, silent for so long, had finally yielded a clue, a fragment of the truth that had been buried for over a decade. Sergeant Stephanie Klein, a seasoned investigator known for her meticulous approach and unwavering dedication, took the lead in the reinvigorated Adam Preston investigation. The shattered gear, recovered from the remote mountainside, was carefully transported to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation's forensic laboratory. Each item was meticulously examined. The torn backpack, it seems ripped and fabric-weathered, bore silent witness to a violent struggle. The hiking staff, once Adam's trusted companion on countless trails, now exhibited deep gouges and a pronounced bend, suggesting it had been used in a defensive manner. The audio recorder, the most crucial piece of evidence, was painstakingly analyzed by forensic audio specialist Robert Vega. Vega, a renowned expert in audio enhancement and analysis, worked tirelessly to extract every possible sound from the damaged device. He employed sophisticated software to filter out background noise, amplify faint sounds, and piece together the fragmented recording. The enhanced audio revealed a chilling sequence of events. Initially, Adam's voice, recognizable from earlier recordings provided by his family, documented his ascent, describing the stunning views and the challenging terrain. Then, a second voice, deeper and more aggressive, entered the recording. The conversation quickly escalated into a heated argument. Although some words were still indistinct, the tone was unmistakable: anger, threats, and a growing sense of panic in Adam's voice. As Sergeant Klein listened to the enhanced recording, a chilling realization washed over her. She recognized the second voice. It belonged to Daryl Holtz, a local guide known for leading excursions into the backcountry of the Rocky Mountains. Klein had encountered Holtz in previous investigations, though never as a suspect. He had a reputation for being abrasive and territorial, often clashing with other guides and hikers over access to remote trails. The focus of the investigation immediately shifted. The accidental disappearance theory, which had dominated the case for over a decade, was now replaced by the chilling possibility of foul play. Klein contacted Jessica Sandoval, Adam's sister, to inform her of the new developments. During the conversation, Jessica recalled a detail she had initially dismissed as insignificant. She remembered Daryl Holtz approaching Adam in the days leading up to his trek, offering him a shortcut through a less-traveled section of the mountains. Adam, always meticulous in his planning, had politely declined, preferring to stick to his established route. This seemingly innocuous encounter now took on a sinister significance. The pieces of the puzzle were beginning to fall into place, painting a grim picture of what might have happened on that fateful day in the mountains. The investigation, once cold and dormant, now surged forward with renewed urgency, driven by the chilling audio recording and the growing suspicion that Daryl Holtz held the key to unlocking the mystery of Adam Preston's disappearance. The investigation into Adam Preston's disappearance now centered on Daryl Holtz. A background check revealed a history of minor offenses, mostly related to trespassing and disputes with other hikers and guides in the Rocky Mountains. He had a deep familiarity with the backcountry, often boasting of knowing secret trails and shortcuts unknown to most. While there was no record of any prior violent crimes, his reputation for being aggressive and territorial raised red flags. Investigators discovered that Holtz had no direct connection to Adam Preston beyond the brief encounter Jessica Sandoval had described, the offer of a shortcut just days before Adam's ill-fated trek. This seemingly chance meeting now took on a sinister new meaning. Sergeant Klein, armed with the enhanced audio recording and the growing circumstantial evidence, secured a warrant for Daryl Holtz's arrest. He was apprehended at his remote cabin, nestled deep in the woods at the edge of the national park. During the interrogation, Holtz initially denied any involvement in Adam's disappearance. He claimed he had never seen Adam in the mountains and dismissed the audio recording as fabricated evidence. However, as Sergeant Klein methodically presented the evidence against him, the recovered gear, the expert analysis of the audio, and Jessica Sandoval's account of their encounter, Holtz's composure began to crack. Klein then played the enhanced audio recording, the chilling sounds of the argument echoing in the sterile interrogation room. Holtz's face paled as he listened to his own voice, captured on the device that had miraculously survived the ravages of time and the elements. Confronted with the irrefutable evidence, Daryl Holtz finally confessed. He admitted to encountering Adam on the trail, confirming that he had indeed offered him a shortcut. His motive, he claimed, was robbery. He had seen Adam's high-quality gear and decided to steal it. When Adam refused to hand over his belongings, Holtz became enraged. A struggle ensued, during which Holtz used Adam's own hiking staff against him, inflicting the deep gouges discovered by the climbers years later. In a fit of rage, Holtz confessed to pushing Adam into a deep ravine, a treacherous drop hidden amongst the rocks and trees. Fearing the consequences of his actions, Holtz then deliberately smashed Adam's gear, scattering it across the mountainside in an attempt to simulate a rockfall accident. He hoped to make it appear as though Adam had been a victim of the unforgiving mountain terrain, a tragic but accidental death. The confession, delivered in a monotone voice devoid of remorse, sent a wave of shock and grief through the small investigative team. Sergeant Klein, despite her years of experience dealing with violent crime, was visibly shaken by the cold-blooded nature of Holtz's actions. For Adam's family, the confession brought a mixture of relief and profound sadness. The years of uncertainty and unanswered questions were finally over, but the truth, when it finally came, was more devastating than they could have imagined. The news of Holtz's confession reverberated through the mountain community, replacing the lingering mystery with a sense of collective horror and disbelief. The man they had known, the gruff and solitary guide, was revealed to be a cold-blooded killer, his secret hidden for over a decade beneath the imposing peaks of the Rocky Mountains. Following Darrell Holtz's chilling confession, the legal proceedings moved swiftly. He was charged with second-degree murder and pleaded guilty, accepting a plea bargain that spared him the possibility of a life sentence. The courtroom was filled with a somber silence as the judge delivered the sentence, condemning Holtz to a significant prison term. The resolution, while bringing a sense of closure, did little to ease the profound grief that permeated the proceedings. Adam Preston's family, present throughout the trial, listened stoically as the details of his final moments were recounted, the pain of their loss etched on their faces. Based on information provided by Holtz, a specialized search and rescue team returned to the area where he had pushed Adam into the ravine. The terrain was treacherous, the ravine deep and shadowed, but after days of painstaking searching, they recovered Adam's remains. The discovery, though heartbreaking, finally allowed the family to bring Adam home. A small, private funeral was held in Denver, attended by close friends and family. Jessica Sandoval delivered a moving eulogy, remembering her brother's gentle spirit, his love for the mountains, and the unwavering hope she had held onto for so many years. She spoke of the bittersweet relief of finally having answers, of finally being able to lay him to rest. In the aftermath of the trial and the recovery of Adam's remains, Jessica Sandoval publicly thanked Sergeant Stephanie Klein and the entire investigative team for their tireless dedication and unwavering commitment to solving the case. She spoke of the importance of persistence in pursuing cold cases, emphasizing that even after years of unanswered questions, the truth can still be uncovered. She also highlighted the crucial role technology played in the investigation, specifically the forensic audio analysis that ultimately led to Darrell Holtz's confession. The advanced techniques employed by Robert Vega, the audio specialist, had extracted the crucial evidence from the damaged recorder, providing the irrefutable proof that cracked the case wide open. The tragic story of Adam Preston resonated deeply within the hiking community and beyond. His disappearance served as a stark reminder of the inherent risks of venturing into the wilderness, but also of the darker potential for human malice. The case underscored the importance of safety precautions for solo hikers and the need for vigilance and awareness even in seemingly serene environments. The resolution, though bringing a measure of justice, could not erase the profound loss felt by Adam's family and friends. His gentle spirit, his quiet love for the mountains, and the tragic circumstances of his death left an enduring mark on the community. The conviction of Darrell Holtz brought a sense of closure to a case that had haunted the Rocky Mountains for over a decade. It was a testament to the dedication and perseverance of law enforcement, the power of forensic science, and the unwavering love of a sister who refused to give up hope. While the mountains had finally relinquished their secret, the echoes of Adam Preston's final moments, captured on that small, battered audio recorder, served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of truth.